We will make an entire video game in just 1 month, and in this video we will talk about how we will do that and what we're making. But before that, let's talk about why we're doing this. For almost 3 years now, we've been working on a big project, and next year we're gonna finish and ship it. The problem is we've never put a game on Steam before or marketed, so we have no clue how to do all that. So here's the plan. We will make a small game in September so we can practice all that. The game will be good and fun, don't get me wrong. It's a really cool project, but the main intention is to learn how to market a game. Then all the mistakes we make we can learn from and do better when we market the big project. That big project is important to mention since that is the key to how we will make an entire game in just 1 month. The answer is we copy and paste it. Yep, that's it, we just copy and paste it. Now you might be wondering, how are those two games any different if all we do is copy and paste? Well, here's how. When you boil it down, a video game is a set of rules and mechanics, so by changing these, we can change the entire game. Let me give you an example. The big project is called Psycho Samurai. It's a fast-paced action roguelike. You charge into your enemies to slice them with your sword. The more you hype up the crowd by being a badass, the more gold you get to buy badass items. Your goal is to get to the final level and beat the boss to win the game. The new small project, on the other hand, is a real-time strategy game, not the Age of Empires type, more like Pikmin or Tooth and Tail. You walk around with your robot army that does the fighting and collecting of resources. At night, you flee into your base because that's when enemies come attacking you in waves. You can upgrade towers, robots, and so on. The goal is to survive for as long as you can and create a new high score. As you can clearly tell, these two games are very different from each other, so what's the point of copy and pasting then? Now, while the games are totally different when it comes to their mechanics and their rules, the underlying systems, the code, the UI, even the art, they're all the same. The enemies in Psycho Samurai are also the enemies in Psycho Robots, and they're also your minions. That means we save time by reusing these assets. Because we changed the mechanics, the combat is completely different, even though you are facing the same enemies. By changing the rules of the game, the feeling and tone of the game change completely. And that is how we make an entire game in just 1 month. We take this big project, change its rules and mechanics, reuse the assets, and boom, we got something that normally would take about 6 months to make and make it in just 1 month. Now, don't make the mistake and think this was easy to do or that you can just always do this with any project. This took a lot of time of me thinking about good game design that allows us to reuse all these assets in this one. That brings me to the lesson that this project has already taught me. We shouldn't tunnel vision on creating everything from scratch because it needs to perfectly suit that vision in our head. We can't just reuse assets or buy them from the asset store or not care about everything when we really know it doesn't really matter. If this RTS tower defense roguelike game sounds really cool to you, then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos in which we're going to talk about the development during the month, and also we're going to put a Steam page up as soon as we can. Peace.